Yes, we can start. And I think we are online now.
Hello.
Yes, it looks like. Yeah. Hello and warmly welcome to everybody, to everyone here, and to our 9th webinar by the Academy of Space Renaissance International. Today is our, I have to put it down here. Today is our Christmas special. Yeah. My name is Sabine Heinz, and I am the person responsible for our webinar series and one of our vice presidents. And normally, in this part, I would welcome our president, but today he's also our special guest. Welcome, Bernard Foing.
Hello. Yes, hello all of you, Space Renaissance all over the world, our planet and beyond, of course. It's a pleasure to have you here. And let's go in a celebratory note. And I see a number of friends joining us from over the globe. And so
just waiting for the car.
Yes, excellent. So some of you some are in vehicles, in cars, but yes, be safe. And those of you that are on a space station also, okay, we welcome you all. So I am going to give you some short overview of Space Renaissance, but of course, I am quite a fresh president, only elected in July. And so there is a long history behind it. So I will need some help from the veterans and other directors for this presentation today.
Just a second, Bernard. I would like to introduce you to our audience, because I know that you are our president, but you are president of many, many organizations. For the audience, Bernard Foing is a French scientist at the European Space Agency, and he is executive director of the International Lunar Exploration Working Group, and was a principal project scientist for SMART 1, the first European mission to the moon. He's also a research professor at the Vrije Universiteit Amsterdam and at the Florida Institute of Technology. He is also the president of ITACOS, of the Moon Gallery, and what else? He is a very smart guy. In any case, Bernard, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Sabine. And yes, let's go for this overview of goodbye 2021, long live 2021, and welcome 2022 that is coming now. So I have prepared. Yes, I have the floor now. I have to. And I'm going to show you
sorry,
the beautiful template that
Bernard, just give me 10 seconds. I have to say something in the opening.
Oh yes, Adriano, yes, please.
No, just very few things.
Yes.
What I want to say is that we are closing a very exciting year, as Bernard will explain that. And we had a great growth of Space Renaissance International this year. We are not far from our goal of membership for 2021. We started in January. In January, we were only about 40 registered members. Now we are almost 80, and we want to become 100 for the end of the year. So I am inviting all of our friends and supporters to subscribe as members, and we will give a nice thing to the new members that will register today. We will give a special membership card with a painting made by a space artist. And yes, we are planning greetings. We are planning greetings for next year, and so we will have other surprises still. But however, I invite everybody to, if you are not a member yet, to subscribe as a member today. So the link will be in the chat of YouTube, and you can do it in few seconds. Okay, thank you very much. Bernard, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so let's go on this. I prepared some presentation. There's some text, but you know, it's like the US Constitution. It's a text. So clearly, our legacy is also based on what was written. And I have this beautiful cover slide that was prepared by Adriano. So to welcome you for this Goodbye 2021 special event. So what is Space Renaissance? What do we do? And let's go back to our overall mission statement, a global organization dedicated to getting humanity off-world. And not just the astronauts that are engaged in pioneering exploration, but also humanity en masse, because it's a natural progression in our development as a species. And of course, as you know, Earth is a cradle of humanity, but one cannot live the whole life in a cradle, as Konstantin Tsiolkovsky said more than 100 years ago. So how are we going to achieve our mission? And why did we call ourselves Space Renaissance? This was in the foundation some 12 years ago, and as a kind of inspiration from the humanism philosophy and practice that took place during the Italian Renaissance. And now we want to take example of this first Renaissance, which had many visionary individuals and actors, and that led to incredible leaps for our society and also understanding our place into it. So now let's continue on this Space Renaissance initiative to go further by promoting some of these programs to support new space industry and research. So that's and in order to clarify also, we want to foster civilian space development, which is to have some appropriate transportation and accommodation technologies and means to enable civilian passengers and settlers to travel, live, and work in outer space. So that was given to us from our founders of the Space Renaissance Foundation. And in practice, SRI runs a number of programs, projects, and activities. So if your destiny lies among the stars, and I'm sure it is, so our job, your job, is to help get you and others there. So we have another program there, and we will eventually discuss some of their content, the Medici Fund program, the outreach program, the academic program, the Civilian Space Protocol Initiative, and we have also Space Renaissance chapters with us. And we try to give the word also to our colleagues to describe what is going on. So I look into some of the also milestones that were achieved. In particular, in 2017, we had a Space Renaissance Congress, and there was some already some goal focused towards 2025. So clearly enabling some goals in the horizon, and taking into account where we are in history, but construction and maintenance of space infrastructures directly in space, capture and reuse of space debris and wreckage, developing new capabilities for civil passenger transportation and accommodation in space, developing reusable launch systems for passengers and cargo transportation in space, additive layer manufacturing technologies for industrial development, of Earth orbit and beyond, and also various enabling technologies for transport and accommodation of untrained civilian space. And there is a number of such technologies that you can see that low-cost orbital transport, maneuverability, some techniques for takeoff, some re-entry in the atmosphere, scientific research. Okay, you know, I'm a scientist and a researcher. I like this one, to protect life and health in space. Also space habitat, artificial ecosystem, even with exo-gardening and horticulture. So flowers and plants in space, that's also part of our vision of civilian development in space and near space, in orbit, and also beyond on the moon and other planetary bodies. So that was some of the vision that we enforced in 2017 towards 2025. And there was a number of other community recommendations. So the Second World Congress of SRI in 2014, the Declaration of Space Renaissance in 2017. So we, the people who dream of space development, have committed our lives to the mission of igniting and supporting a global renaissance of the astronautical endeavors that humanity embarked upon during the past century. So civilian space development will significantly contribute to resolving many recurrent global problems, as well as the physical limits which humanity's mother planet imposes on present civilization. So that's a very important text that we should wear in our mind. And there have been some activities, initiatives taken in 2017, 2018. So like for the 50th anniversary of the Outer Space Treaty of 1967, some orbital workshop, participation to the Unispace Plus 50. Actually, I remember very well because I had the opportunity to talk to the president at that time, Adriano Otino, and we talked at this Unispace 50 Plus. And then we had some participation at the various Congress in Bremen in 2018. Then, when I came in, was this year for the third Space Renaissance World Congress. And here are some summaries that you can find in the website, but I captured that on this slide, what we had. So a conference, Congress attended by participants from 43 countries, 1,000 visualization on the YouTube channel, so quite a good impact. And then a very well-constructed process to make presentation, to share point of view, to debate, and also at the end to have some final motion and recommendation that were presented to the audience and then voted. So we had the Space Renaissance Congress final resolution. We had also some thesis, Congress thesis that were presented. And you see they got a very high, almost unanimous support. Unanimous in the sense that there was no nay into that, even with more than 2/3 of the potential voters having expressed their vote. And then at that occasion, a new SRI president was voted in, Professor Bernard Foing, your servitor, which was also approved even online. Also, we had the election of the board of directors of Space Renaissance International, also with a large amount of support. And it will be my pleasure later to introduce you some of the members of the new board of directors. And this didn't end that. After the participant, in particular Adriano Otino, made a tremendous effort to put together some acta for this Congress. Quite a package of contribution, but that's part of our legacy for the future. So let's go into what we have approved. And we have approved in particular this civilian space development final resolution. So it reads, and I took only some extract because of course you can read that in the website. We, the Space Renaissance International, during the Third World Congress of our association, we discussed the status of civilization, the perspective of expansion into outer space, and the best strategy to kick off civilian space development during next year, towards 2025. That's our other point. And here are our priorities for the next 5 years. And I'll describe that in the next slide. And at the end, We warmly invite all of the planet Earth visionary entrepreneurs, government, space agencies, UN, universities, and all interested parties, institutions, and individuals to adopt this recommended agenda. And we also invite our sister space advocacy organization to join us promoting this agenda, to raise our voice loud and clear for the benefit of humanity. And this was approved then unanimously on the 30th of June. So beautiful. Now let's see, what did we sign for? We signed for, in particular, in the Congress final resolution for priorities for the next 5 years. And here you can see the detailed description of those, but I've taken some bullets of this recommendation. So not going back, but going forward to the moon and develop the proper industrial infrastructure for this. Infrastructure to produce fuel in space, space debris recovery and reuse. That was one topic. Enhance life protection in space. Start experimenting with simulated partial gravity. Target younger generation. Keep on supporting the development of 100% reusable space vehicles. Produce food in space. Space safety. Support the space tourism industries. Perform space-based solar power studies. And support space-related art and bring art to space. And also another one, which is to add an 18th SDG, bootstrap the civilian space development to the current 17 UN Sustainable Development Goals. So we have taken this Congress resolution, and as I was just elected at that time, I took it really to say, okay, my task for the next years, where I will be the president of SRI, is to implement this plan of priorities and to put that into actions. So we have also asked the current directors of the board to take some of this specific topic under their task, and then to distribute how we could advance in these various topics. And then we will be able to report a bit on that with asking some of the directors what is going on. So that's priorities for the next 5 years. And we have a number of activities also where we try to develop some set of partnerships further with other organizations. One of them is the International Astrological Federation, and we had a special presence at the International Astrological Congress in Dubai, and which was, the first IAC attended in person. And I see in the group here we had a number of friends. I saw here Hank Rogers is with us today, and we had Thais Sikli, and they were also with us at the IAC in Dubai, and of course Adriano Autino and myself, we were there to represent SRI. So it was a really historical congress, in the sense that it was the first time it was in the Middle East, in the Arab world, the country, yeah. And we had the first time after we had the cyberspace virtual conference in 2020, and we got the support of 6,500 participants that came there to Dubai on this ISC on the theme of inspire, innovate, and discover for the benefit of mankind. And you can look at the IAF website for ISC 2021 to see the detailed content of the program and also the number of events that we organized there. It was really amazing moment, and to present the work of all this space family, but as well to meet, to network, to be part of committees, to organize events across countries, across generations. And so it was really amazing place. And so we were happy to be there. And so we were your eyes and your mouth there. But we are looking forward to next year, where the IAC will be held in Paris. That will be in September 2022, and to see many of you present there. And indeed, we were quite present and active as SRI, but as panelists, we were part in some various panels, impact on satellite constellation, astronomy and society on Tuesday, about the concept of a geostationary space station. So that's, you see, something which could be a precursor for O'Neill station and colony, which is quite dear to our art in the SRI. We had also Horizon 2061 planetary exploration foresight, where we presented some result of an international group working also together with COSPA, the Committee for Space Research. And even I had a chance to be invited in an event organized by the Deep Space Food Movement, a movement that look how we can learn from technologies of food and growing plant in space to address some of the problem of food on Earth. And we had a very special guest there, celebrity chef Martha Stewart, that were teaching us a lot how some of these controlled growing techniques, like we use in space, can provide a yield on Earth 40 times what you would do in just a natural practice. And this could be indeed providing some great progress in addressing the problem of food production and hunger in the world. So it was quite a very interesting set of events, but there were also a lot of others very active. In particular, we were, so I was organizing a space exploration symposium, and part of it a lunar session, where I had the pleasure to have as a panelist dear Adriano Ottino. You can see him speaking about space renaissance as part of the panel that also included, by the way, Thais Sikli and Hank Rogers for International Moon-Based Alliance and Blue Planet. Thais Sikli also member of International Moon-Based Alliance, and we had also some young professionals from Space Generation and from the Euro on Mars group contributing to this panel. And you can see after this panel, we had also some great presentation from students from the International Space University that had presented a concept of building a lunar base using the Starship rocket itself. And you see something which is a good representation of what is our work across generations, across countries, and with a vision of expanding civilian space to the moon. This was for a lunar session. So also, we were active in some committees at IF. So for instance, we had some meeting of the IF committee on the cultural utilization of space. So here you can recognize our director on the end, also coordinator of a Space Renaissance art chapter. That's Sabine Heinz. You can see in the second line, third row. And but also we had some members in presence there. So we had also Taisik and Adriano Ottino, as well as Hank Rogers present in person at this committee meeting. And we had also a set of sessions, some for the plenary opening, where you had thousands of people, I think, but also some very nice interactive session for a smaller group, where we could also discuss some great collaboration opportunities. So great experience from ISC in Dubai. So yes, I should have introduced that before. For some reason, it comes now. Of course, we have then a new board of directors. So you can see on the website of SRI, the full list of this Space Renaissance. So I wonder actually if we just, we can go to that. But we have also a kind of executive, of course. So we have so executive secretariat. So we have executive director Kevin Merrick. We have our ambassador Adriano Ottino. He's also looking at after the Space Renaissance Academy effort. We have our treasurer, Corinne Graham, and we have a number of vice presidents that were also elected. So Sue-Ann Jewell, and she is also looking in particular at the academy and analog training. We have Manuel Perez, in particular civilian space protocol. Adriano is also looking at the Medici Fund program. And then we have Sabine Heinz for Space Renaissance Art, and Joe Pelton, the Vice President for Global Alliances. So I think after my talk, I would like to give the word to those Vice Presidents and also other members of the Board of Directors to tell also what is new and what has been accomplished. So other aspect that we are working on are on partnerships. In particular, we have started a process to become member of the International Astronautical Federation. So we have done all the process, and we are looking at being part of the first wave in 2022 to become members of IF. And we have also some agreement we are discussing with ACES. And I think we can also discuss that later with our good friend Joe Pelton and Dr. Chris Afuli. And also some of the activities that I have been conducting with International Lunar Exploration Working Group, a group reporting to COSPA, and some of our platforms of Euro-Moon-Mars activities for science, instrument, simulation. Art-Moon-Mars platform we developed 10 years ago to promote the bridge between art and space, Moon and Mars. Also the International Moon-Based Alliance. And we have also here some of the directors, such as Hank Rogers and Tay Sickley. We have also M-Mars that have expressed the wish to have an agreement with us. And we have also a number of national chapters. I will ask them to give some news of what they are doing. So let's move on quite another success story. And this is a Space Renaissance webinar. So an effort that is organized by Sabine Heinz and with the support of some of those team members, also directors. And so you see a very nice program. So twice per month. So that's typically the first and the third Monday of the month. So very systematic structure and quite a good diversities. And also where you see for the recent version, we have also the recording of some of the talks that are given as well. And you can see also some of the program for the next year, which are coming. So let's advertise. The last one was on, so we had Will the Aliens Have Music? And then we have the next one about space tourism, which is due on the 3rd of January with Sam Coniglio. And you have a set of talks which are planned already actually until May. So maybe Sabine, you want to make some comment because this is your baby. So I have also a little picture, which is an example of our last talk.
Thank you.
So
yeah.
yes,
yeah, you can put the picture. With our webinar series, we try to bridge to build a bridge between art and science, and we are inviting scientists, artists, and and we want to reach all interested people, but also we want to build a bridge between art and science, so that we listen to each other, that we talk to each other, and we had really lively discussions, especially with our last guest. Can you put the last slide? This was
yes.
with Seth Shostak. It was a really nice discussion we had about music and if the aliens have music, and I think think many people were interested. Musicians, we had musicians as guests, we had scientists as guests, and I know many scientists are also musicians like you, and you are a good musician. And it was really nice, and I tried to find a interesting mixture between to say so, hard science and it's a little bit more dry to say so, but also to have more public things for the audience, because we want to reach a wide range of publicity. We want to reach young people. We want to reach all interested people, and therefore it is good that we have a good mixture between all in this program. So, and we are curious what we can expect for the next year. We'll try to find more interesting guests, and we have also our board. They also want to give some lectures and speak about their work. Yeah.
Excellent.
You can go on.
So indeed, so we'll have also as part of the decision that was taken in the board of directors that we have to show a good example. So each director will have the opportunity also to describe what are their activities also in relation with Space Renaissance, and also some opening on their activities. So that's our webinar. But we have been also active in developing some lectures for partners in particular. So I'm aware of a number of lectures that we have given at international space universities. And for instance, Adriano and Sabine are due to give some lecture for some of the master students. And there have been also some proposals for a workshop to be conducted during the Space Studies program, the Northern Summer program of ISU that will take place in Portugal over the summer. So see, we are also starting to bridge with the younger generation as part also of our mandate to take care of the next generation. And I would like to end with some plan of opportunities for next year. And in particular, next year we have already we have our webinar series that we have described. So 2 Mondays per month, but also we have a specific events, and I'm pleased to report that we'll have a launch. We'll have a launch of the first moon gallery to the International Space Station that is due to be launched on 19th of February from Wallops Island. So if you are there, you are welcome to join in. And also we'll organize a special party in Amsterdam on the 12th February. And as you know, so this moon gallery is a kind of a pilot project that was developed in the frame of the Art Moon Mars platform, which is now merged together with our Space Renaissance art activities that are led by Sabine. So you are all, so from Space Renaissance, you are all now friends of the Moon Gallery and of Art Mars. Then in March, we are planning a virtual hybrid conference, a follow-up of the very successful Galix conference that was conducted exactly 1 year before, also with a collaboration of Space Renaissance. And so we are planning that 14th to 17th of March. That at the moment, virtual and hybrid. But there may be some localized events where some people will be eventually connected from space capsule to another space capsule in Hawaii and also eventually in Leiden. Then, you know, as we have a strong relation with the International Astronautical Federation, IF, and we have a number of our Space Renaissance members that have joined IF committees, thanks to their belonging to Space Renaissance International. By the way, if you want to join IF committees as full members, you need to be associated with an IF institution, and so you can use Space Renaissance International as your affiliation for that. And please encourage other people to join SRI also in this frame. Oh, and sorry, I have to correct that the date for the date, sorry, I've changed. They are moved to 27 to 30 of March, sorry. Yes, so the exact date is the last week of March.
And change also Berlin. Berlin
Yes.
will take place from 7 to 9 of July.
Yes, sorry. For some reason, I use 7 to 9 of July, so let's do the correction.
It's a space festival. It's a little bit more than a workshop. Space festival.
Okay, sorry, Congress.
It was a
Festival.
workshop.
Event festival, yes. Of course, it's not only work, it's also fun. Yes. Yes, so yes, it's you see the things are now consolidated, except that the dates are not TBC now.
The dates are defined now for Berlin.
Yes.
No more TBC.
Yes, thanks.
Okay.
Okay. Let's check the dates. Now I'll go back to full screen. Good. Oh, sorry, no. Okay, so spring committee meetings. It would be great to see many of you there. We are looking also to have some dedicated SRI event, networking, meeting colleagues from the space community. So please make the effort to come there. So for information, there is also interesting event in Denver, Science and Human on Mars in May. So I'm looking for people that could represent SRI there. Then we have a beautiful event we'd like to invite you to, which is the Padova 800 years anniversary, Padova University. And we'll have an event where there will be a co-organized by the Padova universities, but also various space agencies, Europe on Mars, but also SRI. The space conference with a format a bit similar to the Berlin Festival, sci-tech innovation on one day, human-based and astronaut another day, and humanities and arts. So as I recommend you to come to Padova, the first day would be hosted in the Aula Magna of the university, a beautiful place with decoration, with a lot of beautiful style and paintings, and also the ability to see the chair where Galileo was teaching, and some his telescope, and we bring also some art piece there. Then 27, 29 May, we have with our partner, the National Space Society, the International Space Development Conference, and we should target to have SRI organized space stations there. So I would like to call off some of our colleagues from the US to help in this part. And then we have the Berlin Space Renaissance Festival. Sabine is our host. Maybe you can describe how you see it.
Yes, I can say some words to our festival. We are trying to organize, or we want to organize a huge festival in Berlin at Aschenhold Observatory and at Zeiss Nature Planetarium in Berlin. And we have involved many people, the association from the Aschenhold Observatory, also the owners give us the floor, the place, and we want to collaborate with Ithacos, and we want to make some art competition launch. It's a very nice project. It's still secret. And we want to have some scientists. We want to invite some scientists to have some scientific part. We want to, Bernard want to bring a space habitat. And I think it will be a really nice event, and we want to invite artists to present their artwork on presence. I hope Corona will allow it, but I think it will be possible because it's in summer and there might be not so strict rules, and it will be a really nice festival and a nice come together between all of us. So mark this date in your calendar and come to Berlin. You are welcome.
Excellent.
So and we founded on 1st of August a Space Renaissance Germany group, and we want to involve this group too, and they want to work in this.
Excellent. Yes.
Too.
Very good.
Yep.
So then after a big event for us is the International Astrophysical Congress in Paris, 18th, 22nd of September. So you can participate at various levels. You can submit papers in technical sessions. So the deadline will be end of February for that. Please look. And we remind you to do that. There are a lot of very interesting sessions running in various symposia. I organize myself the Space Exploration Symposium, but there are also some on human space flights, on space society, technology, and so on. And then we are looking towards the end of the year, possibly in November 2022 in the US, to have an event on off-world settlements co-organized by SRIs and partners. So I'm looking for volunteers to help into this. We have got some ideas of possible places in California or in Hawaii, but we have to look how we could make that happen. So that's the plan for next year. And based on that, I would like to thank you for your attention. I saw that there are some questions in the chat, and I will try to answer them. But before that, I would like to give the word to Adriano Tino, also to describe some of the activities concerning the academy, and also concerning the Medici Fund and other initiatives. Adriano.
Thank you, Bernard. You made a very exhaustive and informative presentation of what we made and what we want to do. And that's really Space Renaissance working very much in this 2021 and next year. And for sure, we are, how can I say, doing the good job at the best of our capacities that are not very powerful, but we do what we can. And I think however, we have good results, and we can go ahead with the good intention and confidence that we will increase our membership, and we will increase our funds, and we will be more capable of making initiatives for the young people, for the researchers, for the students, and for all the potential space renaissance leaders that they exist in the society. And our special task and purpose is to find them and help them to become leaders of the Renaissance, not only the space Renaissance, but the Renaissance to court, because this is what humanity needs. I want to spend a few words about the Space Renaissance Academy, that it's starting to develop its program. That it was mentioned by Bernard, the Medici Fund and the mentorship program, and yes, especially oriented toward the young people and students. And we are going to have a collaboration with some universities like the International Space University in Strasbourg and other important universities, where we want to take our proposals for graduate works temps that we are proposing to students to adopt one of our proposed temps. And we are also going to implement, we already started to work to a very ambitious program that is an education program, high-profile education program that we form the Space Renaissance ambassadors. So it means that this program, this education program, will develop our key concept, our key philosophical humanist concepts. We already put in Cantir two first lectures that will be built with the help of our Space Renaissance Academy working team, that is made by philosophers and students and passionate people that works on the history, also on the history of the space philosophy. So these two first lectures that we are working on are the first one on the history of utopias, from the ancient Greeks to nowadays, the utopias that developed in the philosophical thought during the centuries and the millennia. And the second one on the morals and ethics. So these two lectures are, in our understanding, maybe the most important philosophical things that we have to start with in order to form our, how can I say, the Space Renaissance ambassadors, the leaders, the people that can go around and spread the novel of the Space Renaissance, of our philosophy, because we understood during this year, participating to the IAF and to other conferences, international conferences, that there is a growing interest for philosophy and for humanities. Maybe this is one of the results of the outcomes of this awful pandemics of COVID that made people to reflect that science is very needed, indispensable, but is not enough, and science is useless without philosophy. So science and philosophy are two legs on which the progress is going ahead, and art is the third one, of course. So the culture in general. So. I'm very happy that we started to work on the Space Renaissance Academy program, and I'm very grateful to Bernard for taking the precedence of SRI. So I have more time to dedicate to this quite important program that we have to bring ahead. I think. Okay, of course, we are not ready to start giving lectures on the SRI Ambassador program, but I hope we will be able to start to get subscription to the program in the first months of next year. So this is, and of course, I also want to spend a word to invite people to donate to the Medici Fund, that it will be the funds that we will use to create bursaries, prizes and grants for students. And in a second stage, when this fund will be big enough, also to start funding startups, space companies with innovative ideas for civilian space development. So this is our mission, and I hope people will understand us, will help us, will join us, will give some money who can, and we can build really build the space renaissance. Okay, that's all. Of course, we want to know also your comments, your criticism. What do you think we should have made in 2021, and what we should do in 2022 to work better on our
comments, and also involvement of all of you to make that happen. And of course, young professionals, the next generation, is critical to Space Renaissance. And it goes also along a number of activities that, for instance, I have conducted with the International Lunar Exploration Working Group, with IF, with the Euromoon Mars, to get young professionals, to train them, to learn, to use data, to test instruments, to go in places on Earth that look like the Moon and Mars. And for this, we have been also working with the International Moon-Based Alliance, where we have even trained them as an astronaut, analog astronaut, and preparing them also to get a lot of skills that will be useful in their careers. So after we will come back to this, how we could collaborate with the International Moon-Based Alliance, where we have Hank Rogers and basically present. But before that, I would like to ask one of our Vice President, Joe Pelton, to tell us what about these ACES and what we could do with ACES in partnership with the Space Renaissance.
Well, thank you, Bernard and Adriano. I think a lot has been accomplished in 2021, and our aspiration is to accomplish much more in 2022. There are three of the board members of SRI that are involved with this ACES initiative, and that includes Jim Crisafulli. I note that 10% of our participation is from Hawaii, so that's interesting. Hello to Hank Rogers.
Hello.
Anyway, and the other person is Marlene Louzier, who is our legal advisor for SRI. And our aspiration, and ACES, I should note, stands for Alliance for Collaboration in the Exploration of Space. But we trade in the name of ACES worldwide. We now have close to 30 people from around the world who are from, I think, 17 countries, including Brazil, Nigeria, South Africa, most of Europe is involved, but Canada and China, Russia, and Japan. So we are planning to do a series of roundtable discussions on issues of importance to the development of space, particularly related to space safety, orbital space debris, space traffic management, space and sustainability, and many of the issues that we hold in common with the aspirations of SRI. So we are hoping to have a series of quarterly roundtables, which we will certainly invite SRI members to participate in, that are, rather than webinars, these are roundtables that are aimed at trying to find new solutions to barriers to development in space. And then we hope to develop a series of white papers that we hope to present to the IAF and the International Academy of Astronautics, and of course to collaborate with the UN Office of Outer Space Affairs and COPIUS as we develop these ideas, many of which we hope to also present as short videos on the YouTube channels. ACES now has a YouTube channel, and we will be presenting these various roundtables on our YouTube channel. So I would just invite everyone to go to our website, which is ACES Worldwide, ACES Worldwide altogether.org. We also have formally incorporated and are seeking our 501c3 authorization from the U.S. Department for tax-free donations. So I think that's perhaps enough about it, but there will be more information, and we hope to conclude our partnership with SRI. One of the things that I hope to do before the end of the year is to send out a message to people on our International Advisory Committee and other participants to seek to join SRI, and maybe we will make that 100-person objective and maybe even exceed it if all goes well.
You are muted. Bernard, you are muted. Bernard, you are muted.
Yeah, yes. On the topics where there is good expertise on the SRI members to contribute to your global space forum and for the various things. And we mentioned YouTube channel, so welcome to the family of YouTube channel. Of course, we have also a very nice YouTube channels with SRI, and I have the pleasure to announce that we are going to celebrate a special event with this SRI YouTube channel on next Friday. So 24th, Christmas Day. What are we organizing? The launch of the James Webb Space Telescope. And so at 13:20 continental time, so 12:20 universal time, we are supposed to see this huge telescope being launched. It was promised to be launched 10 years before, but okay, it is happening, and we are rejoicing that a key revolution in astronomy, the big brother, yes, as Jerry is mentioning, big brother of the Hubble Space Telescope. So a great celebration. Now I would like to
Bernard, before we go on, I'll just say one of the highlights of my life was being an intern at NASA when James Webb was discussing setting up the network for data relay satellites and asking a lot of tough questions, all of which the answers to which proved to be wrong. I remember.
All of you that have some interest in the James Webb Space Telescope, the astronomy, the science, the technology, or the history, please join us for a special SRI event, and that will be moderated by our new young Euro-Mars communication officer, a very nice young lady, Serena Crotti from Politecnico Milano, and she will be our moderator. And I'll talk about the science of James Webb. If you want to join and talk about some of the history or that would be, you are all welcome to join this event. And Adriano also will be there as well to run this.
Unfortunately, I will be away in an isolated community. I would just say many people don't understand that the ability of the James Webb to see far enough back in time toward the Big Bang that the redshift will be sufficiently large that it'll have to be seen in infrared, and that it has that capability to see that far back so that the redshift has gone into the infrared.
Yes, and we see some of the first moment after the dark ages in the history of our universe. Excellent. But now, as we are talking about astronomy, and you pointed about the big Hawaii community, so, and we were looking in November for an off-world settlement event next year. Is there any possibility to organize that in Hawaii? I'm just throwing. Actually, I just happen also to, I'm planning to have a number
Maybe in Canada. Why not in Canada?
Okay, well, if anybody, I know, you know, Canada in November, you must be very brave.
Yeah, Hawaii.
Hawaii, yes.
I'm going for Hawaii. Come to Hawaii.
Let's vote. Jim, what do you vote?
Yep, of course.
Yeah.
We
So if you could find a way, yes.
Yeah, well, we bridge the gap between East and West, in the middle of the Pacific, and a very, very logical substrate to bring it all together.
Yes, and also you have all the Pacific Rim. Taisik, what do you vote?
I'm gonna throw the Bahamas in the mix as somebody who's from Canada.
Bahamas.
That's an accommodation for the Europeans, easy to get to, you know.
Okay, so if you get an organizer with some good, but it happened also that in November I plan to go there with some 12 members of our young professional analog astronaut team that should be training at the International Moon-Based Alliance, so we can also get them to present what they do. But that could be an option, so let's work on that. But for this off-world settlement, which we are discussing together with the US chapter of SRI to help to organize. Now, I'm going back. Chris, you were talking actually, I wanted to come back to you because you mentioned in the chat early on that you had some announcement about opportunities for some of the activities of on gold aligning with SRI. So you want to shortly comment?
Yeah, just briefly, I did a presentation to the Congress on some things that we've been working on that we've been calling Planet Express. And it really has a major component in it, in that we're promoting something that we're calling the Earth Stargate Network, which is ostensibly the rigs that SpaceX is converting right now, the Deimos and Phobos rigs, as the new form of aerospace port, if you will, to disrupt planetary transportation. So it really crosses a number of different areas in the SRI mandate. And what I'm hoping to do, and I've also reached out to Sabine separately by email, is to see if we can start a discussion on how we can rally around these general precepts and do some working groups and vet the thesis, so on and so forth. And with the end goal being to build this network out of the 2030s, disrupt shipping, aircraft industry, establish a platform that works for what I call suborbital star flights, as well as orbital, all in one mega project for the 21st century. So I'll just leave it there.
Excellent. Thank you, Chris. Yes, also, okay, so let's go along with some of our directors also to comment on the ongoing program. Let's ask South America for a change. Julio, what is new from our South America chapter?
Hello. Hello, I'm also today I'm participating in an in-person mission in Brazil in Space Analog Station of Marte here in Brazilian countryside, in Brazilian semi-arid. Also, we are with 2 students today here. Yesterday we organized event with Karen Bruneman from Slovakia about we are planning events also for Latin American community, also events based in spoken in English, and also the members of the group are invited and welcome to these events to our audiences in Latin America. Okay, and thanks so much. Also, I would like to say thanks to everyone and wish a wonderful 2022, and also we are very welcome to receive also everyone here in Brazilian semi-arid.
Excellent. Thanks, Julio. Actually, we are together in Dubai as well, so it was nice to be together there. And I happen that I will be also in South America in so end of February for some 10 days, where we will have a campaign in the Atacama Glacier. So at 5,000 meters, we will do some campaign monitoring glaciers, but also looking there at Martian analogs and so I'll be close to you. And we want to build as well. So there will be an high altitude laboratory that is being built by the University of Atacama. And we are going to collaborate with this university for also a follow-up yearly program where we do some lectures, some research, and also there could be some opportunities to test some habitat there in high altitude. Now,
Yes,
the topic of, yeah.
Please, if possible, arrange the possibility to visit Brazil. You'll be very well received here.
Yes, okay, we are looking, so I'm looking, actually, I want to mention that we have this campaign in February, March, so it's a bit tight because just before we have a launch from Wallops Island, and just after we have the Houston Lunar Planetary Science Conference, where I will be attending. But in October, they are organizing some big event in Chile about space, and there we could also invite some of you to participate, and also possibly visit Brazil. So I want to advertise as well that we are quite in support to some of the Space Renaissance goals, but also from other organizations that are designing habitat, like the International Moon Base Alliance with Hank Rogers. In Hawaii, we have such habitats, but also Professor Taisikli is planning to develop a base in Korea. And we are now working on a project of a mid-scale habitat that could be deployed in Europe. We are looking to have 2 models of this. One that will stay to be as a research and development bench, and one which could be mobile and go in various places for a few months as a way to engage collaborators and also to test various extremes. So hopefully we will have within next year some of this habitat. When we were in Dubai, we saw some models of inflatable habitat for 4 people on top of a European lunar lander, which is being prepared. And so we work also with a company in France that is developing that with the support of the French Space Agency. So there will be a lot of things in the area of precursor habitat, but we have also to work at Space Renaissance to bring that beyond, because if you want to have a significant civilian expansion to space, we need to go beyond small habitat. Yeah, so Julio posted some information about habitat part. So now let's go around with some of our directors and members. So we would like to report on the progress in your country. So from the German chapter, so Sabine mentioned that this coming up. Well, so whom else can comment? So, okay, Jim Christopherly, our Hawaii contact. So, how are things now in Hawaii?
Going swimmingly, so to speak. But no, we're the coronavirus outbreak has sort of dampened a few things going on here, and but we're still proceeding with our ACES worldwide. And, we're collaborating closely with Space Renaissance International with this. But what we'd like to do is, identify key issues of common interest in space exploration and development, provide opportunities to collaborate in these areas while ensuring that the outcomes are environmentally sustainable, safer, peaceful, and more beneficial for all nations. But in particular, ACES Worldwide hopes to advance space safety standards and reduce risks in space travel, enable broader access to space training, education, research and capacity building, to enhance the development of planetary defense strategies against cosmic hazards, including asteroids, comets, solar storms, space debris, and to expand space treaties, conventions, regulations, and both transparency and confidence building measures that ultimately could enable a more equitable and peaceful space enterprise. So we'll keep everybody posted on the ACES worldwide website, and hope we can engage all of the participants here in a very productive movement moving forward.
Good. Thank you. So, Jerry, any news from Space Renaissance UK? Yeah, you can unmute. Please unmute, Jerry.
Sorry. No, in the UK, as with everywhere else, obviously COVID is ruling strong, and but I'm following some of the online activities, and I'm also preparing some content for the academy.
Oh, great.
Excellent.
Tell me more. Tell me more, please.
Well, it's something that that I mentioned sort of by the way with regard to the off-world settlement thing, which is that I originally came across the work of Gerard O'Neill back in the late 70s when he started this, and he came over to the UK and gave a presentation at the British Interplanetary Society. And I was one of a small group who took him off for a meal afterwards, and we had a lovely time talking with him. I still have my personally signed copy of the High Project.
Yeah, cool.
And I really was taken with the concept of these L5 settlements. I don't call them colonies, they are settlements.
Yeah, it's okay.
But, a few years ago, I thought, well, one of the main things about the original ideas, particularly the Island 1 habitat, was that it should be it should be constrained to the technology that was available at the time they were designing it. In other words, it could have been built with the technology that we had in the late 1970s, so that nobody could say, well, it's a nice idea, but it depends on this and this and this that we haven't invented yet. So a few years ago, it struck me, we are now about 40 years on from those original designs, and we've had all kinds of advancements and improvements in materials. We have materials that didn't exist 40 years before, and our technology has improved. Our computing power is a few orders of magnitude beyond what it was then. So I thought, if we were to go ahead and build something like Island 1 now, we could probably do it more efficiently and more cheaply than we could have back then. So I set up a project at the British Interplanetary Society to review the original plans and see if we could come up with a new design. And the result was a special issue of the BIS journal.
Yeah, okay.
But one of the particular aspects of this was that I said, if you're building something like Island 1, you don't start off by starting its construction. You will need to put up the housing for the construction force. You will need to set up some development areas. You need to have materials processing facilities and all of this stuff. And you need to take this back because it'll be a sort of bootstrap process. So you set up small units, which will make bigger units, which will make the main thing, and so on. And the smaller units, because the main habitats were known as Island 1, Island 2, and Island 3, we called ours Island 0. And Island 0 can be used for all kinds of different space projects, and that's what I'd like to talk about and explain how we can do it and do it cheaply.
Excellent. That looks, well, yes, we have really to update these studies with the new technologies. now concerning UK space, I have some news for you. I was invited by the director of Rutherford Appleton Laboratory. They have this Rutherford Appleton yearly conference, and I was invited to talk about our program, and so I talk about exploration, Moon, Mars, and space renaissance a bit. And I got a question. So, what is the most valuable resources we can find on the moon? So, what should we answer? And what I said,
yes, go on.
It's the ability to inspire creative minds on Earth.
Yes. Yes.
And this is what they took from my talk, and they spread the word saying this was my quote of the day, and that's something that I believe is important. We have to look at people and all over the world. So yes,
Yes.
creative mind.
People.
About creative minds, we need a way to also creative, but also hands-on, because of course, rather for the Appleton, they like to do experiment hands-on. And I see we have here Hank Rogers, very hands-on. I think that you are building an habitat, Hank.
Yes.
Oh, yes. So can you give us some update of what is happening with International Moon Base Alliance and with also your project into energy and environment, Hank?
You're mute.
You have to unmute, Hank. Yes,
Just completed a little mission with 3 women, very important women. And this is, I would say, public outreach more than science. But everybody's really excited. And we were on the cover of the November issue of Smithsonian Magazine.
Okay, yes.
And we had a very nice story about the Selene mission. So we are about to become really world famous. So what are we going to do with that?
Okay.
Yeah, so that's good. We've got missions are back to back till next summer.
Okay.
So we have to plan ahead.
Fast. Yeah?
Yes. So if anybody wants to spend time in high seas, you have to get in line now and make your reservations, or we will be fully booked soon.
Yeah. So what I was looking is to organize 2 campaigns with some of these young professionals for 2 weeks each. And in the middle, I have a nice workshop with our Space Renaissance and other International Moon Base Alliance friends. And also have the opportunity in between to visit the IC's facilities for all of us. So that would be a good time in November. Yes. And if you want yourself to participate as a crew or as also remote support, we have also facilities for remote control. You can also be play the flight director for a day and help us for this simulation.
So to share, I, Hank Rogers, have just moved from Hawaii to New York. I have a place in New York now. I'll be going back and forth between New York and Hawaii. Look at this view. I'm on the 43rd floor of an apartment building. And there you can see the Empire State Building. 43rd floor.
Okay.
Oh my God.
And over there is the aircraft carrier, an old aircraft with an SR-71. SR-71 is right there. I can see it from my balcony.
Wow.
Do you know what an SR-71 is?
It's
the fastest plane that was ever built.
Oh, really?
It used to fly over the Soviet Union and take pictures. And it was so fast that the rockets couldn't catch it. They had to build a Mach 3 rocket to be able to catch the SR-71 because that's how fast it went. So yes, we're making good progress and having a lot of fun. See you guys in Hawaii.
So we'll visit you in New York, but not in November, December.
It was minus this today. It was freezing today.
Yeah, we'll come for the blossom.
Okay.
The cherry blossom, and you have also view on the UN. You are close to the UN.
No, I can't see the UN, but my office is across the street from the UN.
Ah,
It's the Blue Planet Alliance.
Yes.
And we went to the office today. And to go to the office, we drive from here straight across Manhattan to the other side. And there's the UN.
Yeah. Yes.
So we
Yeah.
just
So
cross
okay,
town.
we'll come and visit you as well.
Yes,
Concerning
please.
UN, you know, the International Lunar Exploration Working Group will become observer at the UN COPIOS, so the small UN in Vienna. But at some stage, some things are discussed also in the UN in New York. So that's also very important to have this relation. Good. So we are talking about analog campaign in Hawaii, but of course we have also with us Suzanne that can tell us what is happening with your project and also in relation with Space Renaissance. Suzanne, if you can hear me.
In the meanwhile, I would.
Yes, I hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, Suzanne.
Oh, great. Well, it's pretty bad Wi-Fi here, so I might get get disconnected. But just a quick overview. Yes, so with our organization and Mars in the Mojave, we are now expanding our in-person mission to take more than a small crew. We're actually building the first analog training Mars base here, starting the second quarter of next year. And that means we'll be able to build an analog training facility that will hold up to 50 to 100 of our analog training, and they would be in long duration. So it would be anticipated that these crews will literally be in simulation for 6 months to 1 year to 2 years. That's kind of our sort of moonshot by 2024. And that's what we're building, the first analog city, so and training facility out in the Mojave. But we already started our reopening in-person mission here in California, and we're going to be probably expanding that in the second quarter because of the Omicron, COVID variant. I think there's going to be some issues with international flights in the next few months. So we've decided as an organization to defer any more in-person missions until late of next year. But we are actually continuing with our virtual training program. So our virtual astronautics training program, which has been quite successful. And we're offering scholarships for those who are interested. And obviously, I don't want to go into detail here, but if you are, you can go to our website or reach out to me.
Excellent.
So that's sort of the update right now.
Yeah. Okay, thanks. We are looking forward to come to Mojave. So now we have also some very good collaborators on the Asian side, in particular Professor Tai-Sik Lee from Korea, which is a long supporter of our cause of expansion into space and even building infrastructure to live there. So Tai-Sik, what are the news from Korea?
Okay, thank you so much. As you know, we sent the rocket KSLV-2, we call the Nuri, and we have a 99% successful because launching is good, but only 40 seconds we miss it. So we will have planned to second round next May, and then third round is December. And then we will send that 1.25% ton orbiter to the 600 to the 800 kilometer. We cross the finger, we can have the success story on May. And Bernard told about the HISIS many times, and Jim, nice meeting with you. And Hank Rogers give the permission with the MOU, so we will construct the HISIS in Korea to train the analog astronauts. The candidate place is Jeju Island, which is the volcano, and the other candidate is Gohung. We have a launching place, the southern part of the Korean peninsula. So we will select the the place and then construct. Hopefully, we need 6 months to be constructed. So June or July, we will start the analog astronaut training center. And also, thankfully, we had a MOU with Pascal, president of ISU, International Space University. We will start the education program for the high-ranking people. We call the entrepreneur program to be taught for the entrepreneurs and also the high-ranking of the officer in the Ministry of Science. So hopefully we can have the two successful training and also physical training. We call the analog astronaut training. So that is two important happening next year. And also I made a new venture company we call ENI. You can put the endicorea.com, endicorea.com, and you can see what my company is doing. Usually the professor can make the company, but don't take charge in the CEO instead of CTO. So because professor is a CEO, usually is a failure. So I take the position CTO instead of a CEO. But we can, actually we had discussion with the Luxembourg Space Agency and the ESA. We can solve the problem for the all the garbages except the unorganic waste. So we have a 2 megapascal edge pressure and then 230 heating water, and then we changed all the materials. So it's non-toxic and then non-germ. So it's good not only for the Earth but also space. As you know, for example, the International Space Station, there are two problems for making by people. One is dung, and the other one is pee. But the pee, you know, we make it good water so we can share. But the dung has a moisture is the same, but the materials we should bring into the atmosphere to burn it. But the moon and Mars, we cannot do it. So I had a solution for that. So
that's good. You know, I am an expert in waste management now because I had to be a referee of a 250 pages PhD on the topic, waste management in space, with a lot of historical perspective and some solution using plasma burning. Okay, I will share.
As a president of KIST, burning is the problem for the plasma is a problem because there are many toxics coming out.
So that's
dioxin and all the other materials, but this one is not toxic.
Okay,
maybe you can use the water.
I can ask a question to the poor PhD candidate.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Taisik. I think we have to get to close.
One quick question. I tried to go to endicorea.com and it doesn't work. Did I get it right? ENDI Korea.
Can you write on the chat, Taisik, the address on your company? And how much time do we have?
Yes, I will. Jim, thank you so much.
Yeah,
you're welcome. We have a little bit more time. I also wanted to mention that we got a message from Jan Werner, former ESA Director in General, that he unfortunately he had to leave, but he sent us Merry Christmas greetings to all of us. And Professor Werner.
Okay, excellent. We got the Director General. That's good. And he was a good ambassador for the Moon Village concept. Now okay, excellent. I see we have with us Marie Kuiper. Maybe I would like to give some news from this Moon Gallery event in February. Marie Kuiper is one of the artists and really one of the key persons in the Moon Gallery project.
Hello, I'm Mary Kuiper. I'm one of the artists selected to be in the Moon Gallery, and I am, well, trying to support the project as much as I can. And the very good news is that on February 19th, the Moon Gallery will go to the ISS for a test flight with nanoracks. And to celebrate it, we're organizing it's an afternoon because of all the COVID problems. We hope, maybe I have to say, we hope to organize this party in Felix Meritis in Amsterdam, a real beautiful building. The only problem now is that because of Omicron, we went into total lockdown. But hopefully, the cultural world can be open again during February.
We are locked down until 14th of January. So hopefully we are going to go better after.
Yeah, Valentine's Day, 14th of February.
Valentine's, almost Valentine's.
And then on the 18th of February, there will be a party and a workshop also organized by Bernard and Eduardo Kak, one of the artists also joining the Moon Gallery. He's an American artist. And that will be in Baltimore, yes, in an art center. And then the 19th, we will hopefully be able to see the lounge in Wallops in Virginia.
Excellent.
So that's a good
news. These are the news. So we try also to do a virtual world event to share that. Maybe we will share some news through the Space Renaissance YouTube channel as well, like we do for the James Webb Space Telescope launched on the Friday. So I think that we should maybe close within 10 minutes. So I would like to give the opportunity to those of you that didn't speak to have a word. Yes.
Let me just send some greetings from. Here's an observer from Ukraine. He also wishes us a Merry Christmas. Thank you, Vitaly. And here, Ina Larsen is on YouTube, and Priscilla Thomas. Then we have Corinne. I think Corinne was also here. Corinne Graham. Gary Penny, and yeah, that's all. But thank you for joining us. Yeah.
And if I might just mention too, I didn't have a chance, but I'm Marlene Lozier, and I'm one of the directors of the SRI. And so I've been very happy to work with the group this year. Since last winter, when Adriano had been president, we transitioned to Bernard this summer. And it's been wonderful to see the progress in the group and the activities. And one of the things that I've been helping with is looking at the organizational documents. So we're making some progress there, especially as the subjects come up. And I'm looking forward to continuing that work. With regard to my own work, I'm very active in space and law and policy. So I've been working to develop international laws on the identification and safeguarding of cultural heritage beyond Earth. So a lot of what we discuss in the group, whether it's a Moon Gallery or art in space, music, the traditions of growing, all of these really fascinating themes and topics that we work on, those need laws and rules to be able to be established and recognized under the international system. So I do that outside of my work with the SRI, but I also, as Jim and Joe mentioned, I'm helping them develop ACES worldwide. And I work also with For All Moonkind, if you are familiar with the group, in addition to a lot of other work with cultural aspects here on Earth. So I look forward to meeting all of you, possibly soon, Bernard, maybe in February, and hopefully even doing a lecture or two for the SRI this year. So I wish you
Super.
all a wonderful holiday
Yes,
season.
thank you,
Thank you for
Marlene.
the opportunity.
Thank you. Anybody else wanted to add something?
Bernard, it's Susan here.
Suzanne,
I wanted
yes?
to add that, I am part of SRI, and we are working on developing the SRI Academy.
Yes.
And part of that would also be the SRI training astronautics, and that's under development right now, but hopefully that we can have some kind of a launch sometime next year under SRI with regards to training astronautics program.
Excellent, that's good.
Great.
So anybody else?
Okay. Yeah, this is Thai. I'm just wondering, you don't have the Korean chapter of the SRI. So do you want?
You are welcome. You are welcome
Yeah,
to enter to the
welcome,
SRI.
Korean, Asian, yes. I mean, also something that could have some regional effect, yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, it would be very, very welcome.
Let's work on it.
Yes.
And
Thank you, Adriano.
Yes.
and I want to say that also, Professor Taisiti is a great host. He hosted several Moon Village workshop event, invited us there. He also was very connected with the Science Council of Korea and organized beautiful event with space and science. So, yeah, welcome to the Space Renaissance Korea. Yes, very good.
I just would like to say one time more, but this is my task today. My job is this one, that we have to join the membership, SRI membership.
Yeah, please all join as member, because then you get access to all the information, all the stuff. It's 20 euro per year.
Is not expensive. It's only 24 euros a year.
And it's very easy. You just click and you do it, and this way you get into the system. You are a member, and we would like also to have you as a member. So anybody else would like to comment? Barbara. So how is it in from Barbara? You want to? Yeah, please unmute. Yes. And anybody else? Don't free. Just step in. Barbara, you have to unmute if you want to talk. Who else wants to join in?
Hi, everyone. This is Corinne. And
Hello, Corinne.
as Adriana was sharing, first, let me wish you all, whatever you celebrate, happy holidays and a wonderful new year. And as Adriana and Bernard just shared, you know, it's important for us to continue the work we're doing, and we're just in the infancy of it. So please join. I thank you for all your support and participation in the past, and we look forward to you continuing to be members or sponsoring event, or just helping us to advance, especially the educational aspect, all the programs, bringing them to whether it's high schools and colleges. And just, you know, fantastic job, everyone. And I just want to wish you all the best.
Good. Before we all leave, could you switch your camera for a moment so that we can take a family Space Renaissance family picture? We can send on the end of your postcard.
Bernard?
Yes.
Okay, I'm here.
Barbara, yes.
I was just going to say that collaboration is so key, and it's so good to hear of all these new groups that are popping up, because you can leverage your resources as crazy, you know, and the interest and curiosity and everything you need to go forward. And people, just be careful in 2022. Be very careful this season of meeting people and Omicron and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Because we want everybody back next year.
Thanks.
Okay.
So can you all switch your camera if it's possible? Then we capture this, and Adriano, and yes, if you can have a good picture out of it, and we can wave to all our Space Renaissance friends. Okay, good. Excellent. Oh, that's a nice Space Renaissance family. So before we conclude, anybody else that didn't speak would like to add some words? Marie-Louise, would you like to say something? We really enjoyed your talks. If you want to unmute. Anybody else? Irving?
No, I'm good for now. Thank
Yes?
you.
Okay, all the best in Iowa. Yes, excellent. So, okay, so I think that we have had quite a nice moment. So, on behalf of Space Renaissance, I wish you all the best ending of this year and celebrating all possible festivities from all credence, from all culture. Space Renaissance, you know, when I was at the European Space Agency, I proposed a regulation that we would celebrate each national day of the 22 member states. Then we had no time to work, so finally it didn't pass. But I proposed that the Space Renaissance International should celebrate, yes, all cultural festivities that we represent. So we'll have to find a way to work less than 5 days per week, maybe when we will be on the moon. In any case, there, the day will be 4 weeks. So we will have, in any case, to organize our calendar accordingly. And Mars, we will have to cope also with 46 minutes more. So we'll have more time to sleep or to live. Yes, so I wish you all the best. And so for you, your family, your friends, we'll see you on the 3rd of January for the special webinar. And okay, I'll give it back to the host of the webinar series, Sabino and Adriano. Yes.
Yeah, thank you to all of you. Thank you, Bernard, for this webinar, for this special Christmas special webinar. It was a resume of the year and an outlook of for the next year. And I would like to say thank you to anyone at SRI who worked for us, and to all speakers and all listeners from our webinar series. And I hope we will go on successfully and our community will grow, yeah, much more. So I wish you all a nice Christmas and Happy New Year. And yeah, all the best for the next year.
We have Sam Cornelio joined just now.
Ah, okay.
And maybe he would like to say something. I don't know.
Yes.
Hello. Just came in really quickly. I just want to say thank you very much for the opportunity to participate in the conference this year. And it's been very, very fun and adventurous going through the process of writing. My goal is to write a book on designing for space tourism and private space travel. And my project with the space showers was a good effort. A good effort to head in that direction. Oh, small child back here. Thank you. I just want to say thank you for organizing such a truly international event and having folks from all over the world participating in this program. It was great. Thank you.
Thank you, Sam.
Have a good travel on Earth and to the moon. Huh? Yes.
You remember we have a webinar the 3rd of January.
Yes.
Yes, our next webinar will be on the 3rd of January. And I hope you stay safe. You know, Adrian, you wanted to say something. I give you the word.
No, sorry. I just wanted to recall that we have a webinar.
Yes, I mentioned that. 3rd of January, Sam is talking about space tourism.
Okay, I will get in touch with you by email.
Send me a reminder. Yes, I would love to do it.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hold on. Okay, well, we should drink. Now, let's have a toast. So and I got this. I've got this special gift, and you know, I don't know if it is as
maybe we can make a special lesson cups next
yes,
year.
I have a little cup I was offered, which is this one. Beware, that's a méchant boss.
Okay. We will finish now, Bernard.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, okay. Also, thank you to everyone, and come good in the next year.
Fröhliche Weihnachten, joyeux Noel.
Ja, fröhliche
Okay.
Weihnachten, Merry
Ahora.
Christmas, Feliz Navidad, Snow
Like it.
Godong, and
Oye, Noel, buena année.
Okay.
Happy holidays.
Oh, bro.
Happy
How
holidays.
Bye.
Merry Christmas, happy holidays. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Ad astra.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Overview effect.
Bye-bye.
Okay.